What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. I'm joined today by Socko, and ahead of Stephen Kenny picking his Ireland squad for tomorrow, we are going to be doing our own squad prediction. We're kind of doing what we would pick our squads to be. I think it's going to be a 27. We did a 27-man squad the last time. We're anticipating the same again, really, aren't we? I think.
Yeah, thereabouts. He might call two or three guys in to just add a bit more to the training camp and then whittle it down. But I think the last time he just named the 27, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see.
Definitely. Just before I jump into it, guys, if you do want to enjoy the video, please do drop a like on it down below and make sure to subscribe as well. We're trying to hit that 3K mark as soon as we can. So yeah, please do. All your support is greatly appreciated. But we're going to start off with the goalkeeper, Socko. You only brings three usually. I think you brought four once because there's a couple of injury doubts and stuff like that. But usually is the three. Now there is four players up for debate here, I believe. Before the season started, I would have said it was kind of a clear-cut answer, the three that you wanted. But Mark Travers starting 4 games for Bournemouth at the start of the championship campaign, being their number one goalkeeper, it looks like a team challenging for promotion to the Premier League. That throws a bit of a spanner in the works. The three we would have anticipated would have been Randolph, of course, Kelleher and Bazunu. But Travers throwing a bit of a spanner in the works, you think?
Yeah, kind of a good problem to have. Like, you'd want Stephen Kenny to be having all his keepers playing regularly as much as possible. So if it was only Bazunu playing regularly, that's his choice made. But Travers getting 4 starts for Bournemouth now really kind of throws a big decision his way. I'm looking at it, it's really a 50-50 for me. Like, there's positives to both. One will feel hard done by. Both have had impressive starts this season. Bazunu 3 clean sheets in 3 games for Pompey. I think that's only the second time in 30 odd years they've won their first 3 games this season. Whereas Travers, who kind of didn't get much of a look in last year, 4 starts now for Bournemouth in a division higher than Bazunu. So I think it's a bit of a 50-50, and whoever isn't chosen will feel hard done by.
So are we going up to basis? I think obviously Darren Randolph, I think it's guaranteed that he's in, despite being third choice now at West Ham. Just that experience, he might not be the number one in terms of playing the games. I think he probably still will be more than likely, but I think he both agree he's guaranteed to go with his experience.
I'm not sure. God, if you'd have said like a year ago that you don't think Randolph is getting into the squad, you wouldn't have put money on that at all.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, we all know the whole Stephen Kenny project is about youth and bringing players through, and I think if he's going to continue that, I can see him bringing Kelleher. If he brings Randolph, it's kind of expected for his experience, but I have a funny feeling though. I can't see him leaving Kelleher behind, at the expense of Randolph.
No, I think he will. Personally, I think he'll bring both Randolph and Kelleher, just in terms of they both have that bit of Premier League experience at the top level. I think he will bring both of those players. It's probably between the 2 younger players. I'm not sure. I think they're both younger, Bazunu and Travers. I think he will stick to his guns and stick with Randolph, Kelleher, Bazunu. I think he will leave out Mark Travers despite starting off the season well at Bournemouth. That would be the 3, I'd think, anyway, myself.
I'd probably go starting Bazunu, to be honest. Just like, he started versus Luxembourg, Qatar, Andorra, and he got half a game versus Hungary. And just looking at him personally, like in those games, like he was so confident, so comfortable on the ball, so comfortable coming and collecting crosses, made a few decent saves as well. I'd probably go Bazunu, but it's a real 50-50. As I said, he might bring 4 keepers, and then he can only name 3 in the matchday squad, I think. You can see it going either way. But it's a good problem for him to have, I suppose.
No, definitely. I think whichever one is left out will feel hard done by, I think, definitely, for sure. Moving into the defence then, of course, at right back, we kind of brought 3 in the last squad. We had Coleman, Doherty, who are kind of the guaranteed nailed on 2. And then we've Leo Connor, who kind of came as kind of that versatile defender, if you want to call him that. He's obviously with Celtic now, but he was on loan at Tranmere last season in League Two. Hasn't really got a look in at Celtic this season. Hasn't got a move yet, as far as I'm aware. So I'd be a little bit surprised to see Leo Connor keep his place in the squad, but you never know.
Yeah, me too. Like, I think we'll probably stick with the wing backs now for the games coming up. So then you have Matt Doherty, right wing back, Coleman on the right centre back. I think those two are nailed on. Even though Doherty hasn't had a great start to the season at Spurs, he's still trying to impress Nuno. I think the two of them are nailed on, to be honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. In terms of Leo Connor, I suppose the versatility does go in his favour in terms of he can kind of play across the back five, maybe in a variety of different positions. So maybe Kenny's looking at that in terms of maybe having that little bit more depth. But I do think Leo Connor just isn't cut out for it. I don't think unless he's playing first team football, it is a little bit more unlikely. In terms of the centre halves, then last time out, of course, he did bring the four. He brought Shane Duffy, Dara O'Shea, Andrew Omabamadile, his first call up, of course, the 18-year-old with Norwich City, and John Egan, of course, as well. I can't see the four of them. I don't think any of them will miss out. I think the four of them will be named in the squad.
Yeah, 100%. Owen Bamadile, obviously coming in on the last window. O'Shea is at a savage start to the season as well. 4 starts, 2 goals for West Brom. Egan started all 4 games for Sheffield. Kieran Clark, I think, is in there too. He's another option to have.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the 4 you mentioned there are the 4 he'll probably announce on Thursday. Obviously, Duffy scored a super header there at the weekend, and he looks to be really enjoying his football again after last season. He seems to be back playing at Brighton, really enjoying his football. So yeah, I'd say you go with those 4 centre backs, but you wouldn't be surprised if he could he drop on Bamadile, could he drop Clark? There might be 1 or 2 surprises in there.
Yeah, was Clark injured for the last set of fixtures?
I think he was. Yeah, I can't remember, to be honest. All the games are all in one. Like.
No, absolutely. I think Clark might get looked on in terms of playing in that back 3 on the left hand side. He's only left footer out of those 5. That might work in his favour a little bit in terms of being looked at. So maybe Omabamadile might drop out for him. He'd probably be the one you'd anticipate more than the other 3. I think the other 3 are probably nailed on in terms of Egan, O'Shea and Duffy. They're nailed on. So maybe if he's only taking the 4 centre backs, he might bring Clark over Omabamadile, or maybe even drop Leo Connor out and bring in Omabamadile for him or something like that. But I do think the player that will come in for Leo Connor is Liam Scales. What do you think of that show? I think he definitely has earned the right to be in the contention for the squad, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think Bradley was kind of talking about him the other week as well, to kind of make that next step, and obviously depending on their result on Thursday, if they exit their European journey, is the only thing holding him back from making the move. So when they exit Europe, he will be on his way to Celtic for that 600,000 euro move. But 29 appearances for Stephen Bradley's side this season. He's been a mainstay in the Rovers team that are looking like they're going to retain the league title and have done well in Europe so far. Obviously they've that second leg to come on Thursday. But yeah, every Rovers game I've watched this season, he's been super. He's so kind of calm on the ball, real attacking threat, but can get back really, really fast and recover, and puts in his defensive duties 100%. I would love to see him called up. I think he's a great option to have. He'd be fighting for that kind of left wing back spot with maybe James McLean, Ryan Manning as well in their course. But it'd be a brilliant kind of moment for the 22-year-old to get his call up.
Definitely. And if you look at it from this perspective as well, in terms of Liam Scales going to Celtic, he'd be kind of competing with Leo Connor possibly. And he would be definitely closer to the Celtic team after a big money move than Leo Connor would be now, you'd think. So I think it makes sense for Liam Scales to get his chance ahead of Leo Connor. Because I think Liam Scales can also play as part of that back 3, arguably on that left-hand side as well. So he does give you a little bit of versatility as well. I think, as you said there, Ryan Manning and James McLean probably nailed on for that left wing back spot.
I think McLean last March or April play the left wing back role versus Qatar, I think. But yeah, Ryan Manning has had a good start to the season as well. 3 starts for Swansea and got man of the match. I think they played Sheffield last weekend. So these are all, we're spoiled for choice at the back, kind of not so much going forward, I think. But they're all good. They're all good options to have. There's no player there that, and of course, just as well that Stephen Kenny now Scales from his time with the under-21s. I think he gave him 6 or 7 caps for under 21s. But there's no player there that you'd be looking at if they started, you'd be kind of nervous about them. I think they can all do a job. And yeah, it'd be great for Scales to get his call up too.
For sure. Moving into the midfield, as you say, then it'll probably be maybe a 5-3-2. So you're looking at maybe 3 midfielders, maybe a 10 in front of an 8 and a 6 or something like that. Josh Cullen, I think, nailed on to be named to the midfielder list.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're written here. Yeah, started all 4 games for Anderlecht this season so far, and he was so impressive the few games we saw of him last March. I'm a big fan of him. He's so comfortable on the ball, kind of transitions the play really well. Kind of reminds me a little bit like Jorginho type player at Chelsea, kind of sitting in that kind of double 6 almost. I think he's pretty much nailed on. Obviously, if Malumbi kind of fighting for his spot as well, but Malumbi's kind of big injury doubt. He limped off last week. I think they had an under-23 game. He's rumoured to have a loan with Swansea at the moment. But yeah, I think Cullen's nailed on starter.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be a huge shock if he wasn't to be in the squad, really, wouldn't it? It'd be a real big shock. Jason Knight, of course, is another one. You said Jason Malumbi there. Jason Knight is one who has been ruled out through injury. He was previously in the squad as well, of course. So the two of them possibly will not be in the squad. Conor Hourihane, obviously with Aston Villa. I think he was with Swansea, of course, at the end of last season. I don't think he's moved. Has he? Has he gone anywhere?
I don't think so yet, but yeah, he's kind of been not cast aside, but he's just not getting his game Villa at all. I'm not sure if he's in Dean Smith's plans much. And as well, it's been a while since he's kind of done it in an Ireland shirt that I can think of. He had a few kind of flashes in the last few international windows. But like if Malumbi or Knight were fit, I'd definitely take them over Hourihane just at the moment.
But I think for the time being, I think Hourihane will get in there, especially with the experience that he does bring, I suppose. Harry Arter, another one. I think he's with Nottingham Forest at the moment. Looks like he possibly could be another one to kind of get in because of the injuries to Knight and Malumbi. Harry Arter, of course, was in the previous squad as well. I think he might have been ruled out through injury in the end, but he was in that squad. So it looks like Cullen, Hourihane, Arter will all be there. That's in the kind of the 3 there. Do you think James McCarthy, of course, recently got moved to Celtic? What do you think of his chances of getting in?
It's hard to say. Like, if you're picking your players on form, probably not. If you're picking them because you know the quality they have and the potential, he might do. I think he did pick him in the last international window, but yeah, I think he was ruled for injury or something going on. So he's gonna hoping to regain his form now at his new club. He might do obviously other options there. You have Jeff Hendrick, who has been on the bench in both games for Newcastle. So they're 2 games this season. Alan Brown has had 3 starts for Preston so far this season. So he's another option to have, and like his performance versus not to upset you, but Slovakia last October, like it was one of the best performances in an Ireland shirt that I can remember. Like he should have fucking scored 4 goals, you know.
Yeah.
So he's another option to have there. But yeah, it'll probably be kind of, as you said, your Cullen, maybe Malumbi, maybe Hourihane, Arter in there too.
Yeah, one I'd definitely like to see is, we mentioned him on Cautiously Optimistic on Monday night, was Gavin Kilkenny, and been playing with Bournemouth as well. He kind of seems like kind of a like for like swap with the likes of maybe a Knight or a Malumbi. I think he kind of brings that little bit of energy to the midfield, kind of a deep line playmaker, good on the ball, and is breaking the play up as well for Bournemouth, deep in their midfield as well. So he looks like a promising player to try and get into the squad as well, only 21 years of age as well. So it's kind of the right profile for Kenny to bring into the squad. It's the profile he likes, and it's the kind of player that you kind of need when you've lost those kind of players through injury.
Yeah, he might go from. He might have a better chance if Malumbi is ruled out, like for sure. I think he might get a chance as well if the likes of Robbie Brady isn't called up. Brady's been training I only found out a few days ago, he's been training in the AUL the past few weeks. He's released by Burnley, of course, and I think still looking for I think he's at a few championship offers. So I think he's holding out for a Premier League club at the moment. But what are we, a week away from the transfer window closing? So he'll have a club hopefully in the next few days. I think he was pictured with Stephen Kenny at the Rovers played what are they called? I can't pronounce it.
Toyota
or T. Tuta, Estonia or somewhere. He was pictured with him at the game. But yeah, you can see Brady getting the move now in the next few days. But yeah, kind of Gavin Kilkenny, it'd be nice to see him called up, but is it too soon for him? Not too sure. If Malumbi's definitely ruled out, I think he's a much better chance.
Yeah, no, definitely. In terms of that, like kind of number 10 position, then we've kind of seen him trying to get into kind of more creative players. We obviously saw him call up Danny Mandrew last time out. We've seen him previously bring in Jack Byrne, Robbie Brady, as you mentioned there. Sam Smodzix was one as well that kind of got a call up due to a couple of injuries as well. So we might see one or two of those in the squad. Jamie McGrath, of course, actually we can't remember to we have to mention as well, because he's one I do expect to actually be in the squad. Jamie McGrath, obviously 17 goals last season for St. Mirren. He's actually rumoured to be joining Watford in Premier League and stuff like that. So as well, so I'm surprised he's still with St. Mirren. I think Jamie McGrath is definitely nailed on for me, and I think the other ones will be struggling to get into the squad.
Yeah, same here. Like we've heard Stephen Kenny praise Jamie McGrath so much their time together at Dundalk, and vice versa. Jamie McGrath was so complimentary to Stephen Kenny last March. So they're big fans of each other. I think it was his first call up last March as well, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember if he got on, to be honest.
Did he? I think he got on against
did he?
Andorra.
Qatar or Andorra,
yeah.
But if there's one thing the Ireland team needs, it's kind of positive forward playing kind of number 10s. Creative players on the ball can make something happen and create chances. So I think the likes of Jamie McGrath definitely nailed on. He's a good start to the season as well, I think. And I share your thoughts. I'm surprised he hasn't got to move away yet. Like there's so many rumors, and of course a friend of the show, Liam, was kind of had a nice chat with him last summer as well.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of rumors there. So I'm surprised he hasn't moved away. But he had such a great season last year at St. Mirren that you can only think he'd improve on that in the season ahead.
Yeah, no, definitely. Moving into the forwards, then of course there's been news about Chidozie Ogbene. It looks like he's been ruled out through injury. He's ruled out of contention for the squad, which is a huge blow. I watched him for Rotherham once or twice this season. He's so quick, he's so dynamic, really good player. At League One level, especially, he's just that pace. He offers us something different. Probably the quickest player we'd have in our squad. So that's a big blow for me, especially someone to kind of bring off the bench. Someone of his quality would be fantastic. You're looking at Callum Robinson will be in the squad. He's been okay for West Brom, I think, so far this season in the Championship. He's been impressive enough, and he's kind of probably one of the first forwards that will be brought. James Collins, of course, as well. Got moved to Cardiff recently. Has been playing second fiddle to Kiefer Moore, but will more than likely be brought, you'd imagine. What do you think of the two of them?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't think the last few international windows, Collins has been left out at all. He's got a kind of few minutes here and there, and obviously got that goal versus Serbia. But I think Callum Robinson's a dead-on starter to start versus Portugal. I think he's got 2 or 3 goals in a row now this season at West Brom. Playing alongside Darragh O'Shea, West Brom really looks the business this year.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at kind of Ida, Parrott, Curtis. Parrott's had a savage start to the season now. 2 goals and assist in his first 4 games. I think he'll, especially after the Andorra game, he's definitely going to see some game time. But Adam Ida hasn't had too good a start to the season. Still at Norwich. No move away at the moment. He was on the bench in the first game, and then he got the last 10 minutes versus Liverpool. So I think if you were to pick, if we're playing 2 strikers, Robertson and Parrott for me. What about you?
Yeah, Aaron Connolly is another one as well. I don't think you mentioned him there. That will hopefully be in contention. Is he fit?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, I think he would definitely be in the squad if he's fit. He's been one that's been ruled out of the squad a few times now through injury. Similarly with Robinson as well. I think Kenny hasn't had much luck with the two of them. And I think they'd probably be both maybe his preferred strike partnership. Obviously, Aaron Connolly hasn't really got in too much at Brighton for Brighton this season. They started the season really well, Brighton. Neil Maupay's he got to a good start up front for them. As I said, Ronan Curtis, Daryl Horgan, I'd say will get probably get into the squad. Ronan Curtis doesn't really fill you with much confidence now, but I think he's been okay for Portsmouth. As you said, Portsmouth have won 3 from 3, I think, from their first 3 games of the season. Similarly with Bazunu playing in goal, of course. The players that missed out of the last one, of course, Graham Burke has been okay for Rovers. He's been scoring goals in Europe. Callum O'Dowda, I believe, is still injured at Bristol City. Shane Long was ruled out last time through injury. He might get back in possibly. Maybe it's a bit too old at this stage. Michael Duffy has been mentioned by Vinnie Pert. Vinnie Pert said that Michael Duffy was close to getting a call up, but it looks like now, I think Dan McDonald said that he'll be on more of a standby list. He won't actually get into the squad itself. But if it's an extended squad, he might come in for kind of training and stuff like that. And then, of course, another one as well is Georgie Kelly that has been mentioned. Any of those names stand out to you as maybe outside shouts to get in?
I don't know. I don't know if it's my head or my heart talking. I'd love to see Georgie Kelly get called up. 28 appearances for Bows and 16 goals and 5 assists. Graham Burke too. It was called up in the last window, but I don't think got on. Or was it before Christmas? I don't think got on as well. 2 of them possibly might be called up. As you said, O'Dowd is still injured. I've always liked. I think Daryl Horgan's always done a job for us when he came on. He's a Wickham, isn't he?
Wickham, yeah.
But like, I know he mightn't be playing at the best level at the moment, but like, he's always done a job for us when he come on. So creative on the ball, runs down the wing, kind of makes chances happen. I think he had a big chance versus England there before Christmas. But yeah, it'd be nice to have 1 or 2 more strikers in that few who are more in form. I think Shane Long, last 20 minutes, could definitely do a job for you if he does get called up. But yeah, I think for me, my top 2 out of them would be Robinson, Parrott, and then I think Collins, Curd aside, and Connolly are kind of dead certs to be called up as well. Maybe not Curtis actually, but yeah, definitely Connolly.
Yeah. So in terms of our predicted squad, then we'll run through it quickly. So in goal, do we agree? Randolph, Kelleher, Bazunu are most likely 3. You'll stick with those 3.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Then at the back, we're sticking with. We're only making 1 change from the previous squad. We're taking out Leo Connor and replacing him with Liam Scales. Is that you happy with that?
Yeah, go for it.
So Coleman, Doherty, Duffy. Oh, we were saying Kieran Clark possibly as well might get a shout over Omobamidele if you had to separate those 2.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, he could name a 27-man squad. He could name a 28, 29. So it's not so nailed on numbers wise. So I think, it's a bit of a 50-50 for me.
Yeah, we'll throw them both in. We'll make a 28-man squad for the crack.
Yeah, go on, be kind.
Coleman, Doherty, Duffy, O'Shea, Egan, Omobamidele, Clark, Manning, McLean, and I'm not sure if there's Scales there as well. Then in midfields, did we say Cullen, Horahan, probably Archer as well, McGrath, Gavin Kilkenny, we were thinking to come in for Knight, Alan Brown. He looks like he'll get in, and then probably maybe Jeff Hendrick or Jason Malumbi, depending on fitness, probably one or the other.
I'd say so.
I'll say Jason Malumbi. All fingers crossed. Then in the forward line, we've got Callum Robinson, dead cert. James Collins, probably going to be a dead cert in terms of the opposites at target man. Adam Ida, I think we're happy with. Aaron Connolly, Troy Parrott, Daryl Horgan, Ronan Curtis, and then we're taking out Ogbene, of course. So we have 1 spot left, and we're going to give it to
Georgie Kelly.
Oh, Christ.
No, in all seriousness, probably maybe Shane Long.
Shane Long,
just the experience he has, and so I know he's injured for large parts last season, but he's always fit. Like, he's never carrying a few pounds. He's never in bad nick. Yeah, always fit. Art Dennis. I'd probably go with Shane Long in there, to be honest. But Ogbene is such a big miss. Like, who did he come on in the last 10 minutes? Was it against Hungary?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was against Hungary, and he was even the last 5 minutes, but he created more in the last 5 minutes than some players did in the whole game. Like, I think that was his debut as well. He was so impressive. Like, you can just see he'd run for days, and it's such quality on the ball. I think he had a good chance on the left wing, if I can remember right. So he's a big miss, but you'd be hoping he'd be straight back fit now to come back in the October qualifiers.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, guys, that's our 28-man squad. I'll probably going to be on screen at the time of speaking as well. So let us know what you think of it down in the comments below. Do you disagree with any of the shouts? Anyone we've missed out on? There might be one or two players that we missed out on that deserve to be in contention. But I think I'm pretty happy with that squad, all things considered. Hopefully we can keep them fit throughout the international period, because we've had so many players dropping out early on, 3-4 players dropping out a couple of days into the camp. So hopefully Kenny can have more or less a full to pick from squad, because that's been a real problem for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. Like, the out of that 27, 28, there's guaranteed to be one or two, hopefully as low a number as possible, but like injuries, or hopefully not COVID, but like we know the luck he's had in all the international windows. People picking up injuries even in the training camp. So that's where your lads in the standby list might come in. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see now. The squad's announced on Thursday. So hopefully, and of course it's the first, we'll probably do more videos on it, but there's 25,000 in the Aviva for the Serbia game and the Azerbaijan game. So it's the first time Kenny's had not full crowd, but like a home crowd. So really hoping just everyone gets behind the team, and 7 points from 9. Let's go.
That's it. That's the plan. Let's go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like on it down below. Please do subscribe as well. We'll have plenty of content coming out over the international period, starting lineup predictions, maybe some watch alongs, plenty of reaction to the games and stuff as well. A huge week for Stephen Kenny and for the Irish World Cup campaign, really, because it is make or break at this stage. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and soccer, it's been a pleasure as always.
Cheers, man.